we're going to do is put some line on this fishing reel.
Put a salt draw on.
And normally you wouldn't do this in the boat like this, but there are occasions when that has to happen. So basically, we're going to spool this spinning reel. So I've already opened the bell, putting my loop around the spool. I'm going to close the bell. So we're going to start retrieving this line on here, and what the real trick to it is you want to have that come off of the spool. Whoops, I'm all tangled up here. Keep checking it as it comes off the spool so that your line isn't twisting. You don't want that line twisting as it's coming up. So I'll show you here. You can see where it's coming off the spool down here, laying flat on the ground. And after a while, you'll start noticing some twist in your line. But typically, you want that coming off in the same direction so it lays on the spool exactly the same way as coming off of that spool there. So we're going to keep winding line on here. And when I stop reeling, you see it's still hanging perfectly limp, so that's loading the way you really want it to load. Spinning reel typically holds a lot of line. That's one nice thing about them. They hold a lot of line, so you have to have a full spool in order for that reel to really cast properly. Every so often I'm going to stop again, make sure I've got most of the coils. I'm starting to get a little bit now. See a little bit more down here, so at this point I'm going to turn that thing over. It's going to reverse it for a little bit, and all I'm trying to do is keep that line from twisting coming up on there. You see how I got that line starting to twist up there, so I'm going to turn this back over again. Just going to straighten that back out just like it did there. And as you can see here on my spool, what I'm going to look for down here on the reel itself is that you see I've got this lip on the very front of the spool. You want to wind this line and fill this spool up until it's about 1/8 to 1/4 inch below that lip. That's about the capacity of the amount of line that you want on that reel. So I'm getting pretty close to where I'm going to shut her down here. I think that's going to be good for what we're doing, so I'm going to stop that. At that point, that thing is ready to go, and we're just going to tie a bait on here.